Alright, let's talk about nuts. Those crunchy, savory little snacks that everyone seems to love. But here's the thing. While nuts are nutritional powerhouses packed with protein, fiber, and healthy fats, there's a flip side to this story. What happens when you go overboard? Personally, I think this is where things get really interesting. Because let's be honest, who hasn't mindlessly munched through an entire bag of almonds or cashews? I know I'm guilty of it. But as it turns out, there's a fine line between enjoying nuts and overdoing it. So let's dive into what experts say happens to your body when you eat too many nuts. And trust me, it's not just about the calories. First off, let's address the elephant in the room: weight gain. Now I know what you're thinking. Nuts are healthy, right? How could they possibly make you gain weight? Well, here's the deal. Nuts are calorie dense. Like really calorie dense. Take almonds, for example. Just 1 ounce, which is roughly a handful, packs about 160 calories. Double that serving, and you're looking at 320 calories. That's a snack that's almost as calorie heavy as a small meal. What many people don't realize is that while nuts can help curb cravings and keep you full, they're not a free pass. If you're not mindful of portion sizes, those extra calories can add up fast. And if you're not adjusting the rest of your diet or burning them off, weight gain is a real possibility. From my perspective, this is a classic case of too much of a good thing. But weight gain isn't the only concern. Let's talk digestion. If you've ever felt gassy or bloated after eating nuts, you're not alone. Nuts contain compounds like phytates and tannins that can make them hard to digest. And if you're eating a lot of them in one sitting, all that fat can lead to some serious GI discomfort. We're talking gas, bloating, and even diarrhea. One thing that immediately stands out is how something so healthy can cause such unpleasant side effects. But here's the kicker. These issues are largely avoidable if you stick to the recommended serving size, which is about 1/4 cup or 1 handful. Personally, I think this is a great reminder that even the healthiest foods need to be consumed in moderation. Now let's talk about something a bit more specific: Brazil nuts. These guys are the richest food source of selenium, which is an essential mineral for your thyroid, immune system, and reproductive health. But here's where it gets tricky. Just 1 ounce of Brazil nuts contains nearly 10 times the recommended daily amount of selenium. That's right, 10 times. What this really suggests is that while selenium is good for you, too much of it can lead to selenium poisoning. We're talking brittle nails, bad breath, aching muscles, and in extreme cases, even stomach and nervous system problems. What makes this really interesting is that this issue is specific to Brazil nuts. Other nuts don't come close to this level of selenium. So if you're a Brazil nut fan, moderation is key. Experts recommend eating no more than 4 Brazil nuts a day, or even less if you're eating them frequently. If you take a step back and think about it, the solution to all these issues is pretty straightforward: portion control. But here's where it gets tricky. Nuts are so easy to overeat. They're crunchy, they're flavorful, and they're often served in big bowls or bags that scream, "Eat me." One strategy one find fascinating is choosing nuts with shells. By creating a pile of shells as you eat, you can visually track how many you've had. It's a simple trick, but it works. Another option is measuring out a portion ahead of time. In my opinion, this is where mindfulness comes into play. It's not about avoiding nuts altogether. It's about being aware of how much you're eating and why. This raises a deeper question. Why do we struggle so much with portion control when it comes to healthy foods? Is it because we assume they're safe to overeat? Or is it because we're not fully aware of their calorie density? Personally, I think it's a combination of both. Nuts are marketed as a healthy snack, and they are. But that doesn't mean they're exempt from the laws of calorie balance. What this really suggests is that we need to rethink how we approach healthy foods. Just because something is good for you doesn't mean you can eat unlimited amounts of it. So what's the takeaway here? Nuts are incredible. They're packed with nutrients, they're versatile, and they're delicious. But like anything else, they need to be enjoyed in moderation. From my perspective, the key is balance. If you love nuts, there's no reason to cut them out of your diet. Just be mindful of how many you're eating and how they fit into your overall calorie intake. And if you're someone who tends to graze mindlessly, try some of the strategies I mentioned earlier. Trust me, your body will thank you. Before I wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought. How often do we assume that more is better, especially when it comes to healthy foods? Nuts are a perfect example of how this mindset can backfire. So the next time you reach for that bag of almonds or cashews, take a moment to think about portion size. Your waistline, your digestion, and your selenium levels will all be better off for it. Let me know in the comments, do you struggle with portion control when it comes to nuts? Or do you have any tips for keeping your servings in check? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights like this.